Thank you, Mr. Velody, for coming to the Church of Dawn. All right. So I'll be starting with the Book of Dawn, the basic one. So verse 1.1. In the beginning, Dawn spoke, and the heavens were set in place. By his word, the earth was formed, and the seas knew their bounds. 1.2. From his hand came the light that pierces the darkness, and by his wisdom the stars were set upon their courses. 1.3. He stretched out the heavens like a mighty tent and laid the foundation of the deep. The mountain rises at his command, and the valleys bow before him. 2.5. Mighty is Dawn, clothed in majesty. His voice thunders over the mountains, and the nations tremble at his name. He rides upon the winds, and his footsteps shakes the earth. Fire and hail go before him, and the storm is his servant. 3.7. Blessed are those who walk in the ways of Dawn, for they shall find peace and strength. His wisdom is a lamp unto their feet, and his truth endures forever. 3.8. The lips of the wise declared his name, and the hearts of the just rejoiced in his presence. But the foolish turn away and are lost like chaff in the wind. 4.1. Who can stand against Dawn? His word is like a sword that divides truth from falsehood, and his justice rose like mighty waters. 4.11. The righteous seeks refuge in him and are sheltered beneath his wings. He is a fortress to the weary and a shield to the faithful. 5.12. Those who call upon Dawn shall not be put to shame. He lifts the humble, strengthens the weak, and establishes the work of their ends. 5.13. He numbers the days of the man and give breath to the living. No king rise, nor does any nation fall, except by his will. 6.14. The sun rises at his command, and the moon follows its appointed path. The beasts of the fields and the birds of the sky know his voice and give him praise. 6.15. Let let all who dwell upon the earth give glory to Dawn, for his reign is without end, and his dominion stretches beyond the stars. So that was for the first part of the Book of Dawn. Have you any question, my disciple?
Not for now, sir.
All right. So I'll be keep on going with the scroll of wisdom and might. 7.1. The dawn riseth at his whisper, and the night bows before his gaze. The firmament is his handiwork, and the stars are but jewel upon his robe. 7.2. Dawn speaks, and the earth is still. He calls, and the river change their courses. His voice is thunder, his breath is the wind, and all creation bends to his will. 8.3. Woe to the prideful who walk in their own strength, for they shall be stumbled. But blessed is the one who trusts in Dawn, for he shall be upheld by an unsealed hand. 8.4. The wise seeks his counsel, and their paths are made straight. The foolish turns away, and their feet are caught in snares of their own making. 9.5. The harvest of Dawn is plenty, and his storehouse never fail. He gives freely to those who ask, and withhold not from the righteous. 9.6. Yet the greedy shall toil in vain, gathering gold in barns that moth shall consume. For wealth without wisdom is but dust upon the wind. 10.7. He who walks in the shadow of dawn shall not fear the arrows of the wicked, nor the storms that rage in the night. For his hand is a shield, and his arm is mighty to save. 10.8. The warriors of dawn ride forth in splendor, clad in the armor of justice. Their sword do not break, nor their spirits falter, for his word is their strength. 11.9. He calls forth the waters from the deep, and set their bounds. He names the stars, and they shine at his command. They who then can stand against dawn? 11.10. Nation rises and fall at his decree. Kings rule by his leave. The mighty boast of their strength, yet they are but dust before him. 12.11. A fool says in his heart, I am great. Yet his days are numbered, and his name shall be forgotten. But the one who walk in the way of dawn shall be remembered for generations. 12.12. For the righteous are like trees planted by the river, their roots are deep, and their branches reach towards the heavens. In the days of drought they shall not wither, and in the storms they shall not fall. 13.13. Let all who have ears hear the words of dawn. Seek him while he may be found, for his wisdom is a lamp unto the wanderer, and his mercy endures forever. 14.14. The forge of dawn burns every bright, and those who passes through its flame emerge as steel. But the weak shall flee the fire, and in their fear they shall remain as dust upon the wind. So that was for the scroll of wisdom and might. So do you have any question, my disciple?
I feel like we are the knights of dawn.
We might be, we might be not. There is always Dawn is always watching upon us. He's always, even now, he's always watching upon us. And you're gonna see when your time is gonna come, my son, you're gonna need to go through, like they say in the Bible, in the book. You're gonna need to go through a fire. The fire might be just like an interpretation. It could be any other kind of épreuve that you're gonna need to go through. So yeah. Um. All right. Let me read you, because I believe you met one of our great scribe, Janelle, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna be reading his scroll. All right. All right. The scroll of Janelle, his most loyal disciple. 27.1. Among the many among the many there was one who stood unshaken in the storm of battle. His name was Janel, and his strength was like iron tempered in fire, his will unbending as the great mountain. 27.2. He did not flee in the face of hardship, nor did he tremble before the enemy. For Janel knew that Dawn's word was law, and in that law he found his strength. 28.3. When others grew weary, Janelle pressed forward. When others faltered, he steadied them, and when the faithless questioned, he answered, not with words, but with deeds. 28.4. Don placed a sword in his hand and a shield upon his arm, saying, Go forth, and let no foe stand before you. And so Janelle rode out, clad in the armor of righteousness, and his enemies scattered like chaff in the wind. 29.5. He did not boast, true his victories were many. He did not seek glory, though his name was spoken on. For Janelle served not himself, but Don, and in that service he found purpose beyond measures. 29.6. The doubters whispered, the weak-willed fled, but Janelle did not waver, for the word of man is fleeting, but the word of Don is eternal. 30.7. And Don looked upon him and said, You have been faithful in the trials, steadfast in the storm, and mighty in battle. Come now, and take your place among the great. 30.8. And so Janelle's name was carved into the annals of Don's kingdom, and not as a mere warrior, but as the most loyal and of disciples, whose sword never broke and whose art never failed. So that's for Janelle Scroll. Do you have any question, my good sir?
Nope, not for now.
All right. So that one, the scroll I'm about to read, is about the fall of the admins. Because I don't know if you knew, but a long, long time ago, way before you, way before me, the admins used to be a part of Dawn's kingdom, but
Okay.
they weren't faithful because now the only one that are allowed to be in Dawn's kingdom are the faithful, the people that are. But the admins were faithless. They were greedy and they suffered from that greed. So I'm gonna be reading the verses about that. All right. So 31.1. Once the admins sat in the halls of Dawn, entrusted with the keys to his kingdom, they were giving power, not for themselves, but to uphold his will and guard the order he had built. 31.2. But in their hearts grew pride, and their eyes turned away from Dawn. They whispered among themselves, saying, "Why should we serve when we can rule? Why should we follow when we can command?" 32.3. And so the admins cast off their oaths, seeking their own glory. They twisted the laws, wielding power, not in justice, but in greed. They shut the gates to the worthy and welcomed the faithless into Dawn's land. 32.4. Yet Dawn saw their betrayal, and his wrath was kindled. He spoke, and the earth trembled. He called them by name, saying, you were given dominion, yet you sought dominion over me. You were given a throne, yet you sought to the dethroned the one who made you. 33.5. The faithful cried out against the admins, and their deeds were laid bare before all. Yet they did not repent, but hardened their hearts like stones, saying, "Who is Dawn, that we should fear him?" 32.6. Then Dawn, in his might, rose from his throne. The admins trembled, but it was too late. The walls they had built for themselves crumbled, and the power they hoarded turned into ghost to, into dust into their hands. 34.7. They were cast down from the high places, stripped of their titles, and their name were blotted out from the record of the righteous. The people looked for them, but they were gone, carried away like smoke in the wind. 34.8. And Don decreed, "Let it be known, those who betray the trust giving to them shall not stand. Power is not for the shellfish, but for the faithful. Let all who would follow me serve and not seek to rule." 35.9. And the people rejoiced, for the false ruler were no more, and the kingdom of Dawn stood strong, for it was built not on lies, but on truth. So that was everything for the fall of the admins. So
Wow.
do you have any question?
Uh, does anybody knows what happened to the admins?
To be honest, this
They
story,
just they just vanished.
yeah, like to be honest, when I prayed to Don and asked him for a question about this scroll, the only thing he answers back is that uh they were never spoken of again. After this incident, like no admins that they were in the Kingdom of Dawn got spoken of again. They, yeah, like you said, they just completely vanished. And to be honest, I think that's maybe better for everyone because I don't think that anyone that knows about Dawn's kingdom should and are faithless should be able to stay alive. I think that the only, if you're gonna like be faithful, well, you may stay it for life,
They had everything, and they were so greedy they got
Yeah,
disintegrated.
yeah. See,
You
that's
gotta respect your rank.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Like that's really Don really like is worth. He is really patient, but he is not patient with people that are greedy. People that are greedy disgust him to the highest point. So, if you really want to get far in the religion of Don, my son, you may really give all your greed away. and really just give I mean, not give everything you have, but give all the essential, faith, all your faith in Don. And they gave their faith away and they became greedy.